Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to another card making video. So today's video I'm going to be showing you this really beautiful Winter Gnomes card making kit, and this is by Paper Boutique. So I have a couple of these kits and I really love them, every single kit. The imagery is beautiful, I think they have such a lovely colour palette in them as well. So this is, like I said, this is called Winter Gnomes, and this is what I'm probably going to be making most of my Christmas cards from this year. So this has just been delivered. So I wanted to just walk you through what came included in the actual kit itself and just show you a couple of extra items that I purchased just to make this kit sort of stretch a little bit further. So you can buy all of these items individually or you can buy it as a kit. So I've purchased the kit with a couple of additional items, like I said, just to make it stretch a little further. So let me show you what came included in the kit to begin with, and then I'll show you the extra few bits that I did get. So these 4 packs are what came included within the kit itself. So I purchased this from Create and Craft, and I want to say for this set here it was round about sort of £27, something like that. So I do think the Paper Boutique items have a really fantastic price point, and I think you get really great quality products as well. So let's go through just the individual pieces and show you what you get with this collection. So let's first of all start with the coloured card collection. So they match their colours absolutely perfectly with the images that they have included. And like I said, the actual quality of this cardstock, but all of the sort of papers as well, is absolutely incredible. So this is 200 GSM, you have 24 sheets and you have 8 colours. So you have 3 sets of each colour, which I think is perfect because then you can stretch it to make a lot more cards. I think a lot of kits normally only give you sort of 2 of each, but so you've got just this front sheet here. So obviously this is sort of thinner, but you've got this really big section up here. You could cut that down, again, put that on your card, so you make use of the packaging as well. And again, you've got this strip of colour down here, you know, you could cut that down as well and make a card from that. You've also got the backing sheet as well, so just showing you the colour collection. But again, you can cut these out as well. You could use these to mat and layer your sentiments. If you've got some of the smaller sentiments, you know, you could use this as well. So don't forget to make the most out of the packaging as well. So let's show you the 8 colours that come included. So this cardstock has got a white core, but you can create some really cool effects using that white core. You can file down the edges, but we can have a look at that a little bit later in the video. So you can see here then those 8 colours, and again, such a beautiful colour palette. So you've got your greys, your blues, your greens, a bit of brown, and then your red as well. So again, these match in beautifully with the imagery used in this kit. The card is uncoated, so you can ink it, you can stamp it, you can do loads of different stuff with this cardstock. And like I said, I think it's really great that you actually get 3 sheets of each of these. You can purchase, like I said, you can purchase all of these items individually. So if you wanted more toppers, you could buy the topper pack, but I actually purchased an additional paper pack as well. So I actually have 6 of each colour. So it just means it's going to stretch a little bit further, and then I'm not going to be sort of as stingy with the cardstock because I know that I've got plenty to make all of my Christmas cards. So that is the coloured card collection, and again, I just think it's such a beautiful set of papers. So the next item that came included is our insert collection. So these are our insert papers. So this paper is 120 GSM and you get 40 sheets and there's 10 designs. So again, you get 4 of these sheets as well. The other great thing about having, again, sort of 4 of these sheets is you could cut the images up and decoupage them if you wanted to. Again, you've got this front sheet as well. So again, you could cut this down. That could be the front of your card, pop a sentiment on, and again, you're making the most out of this packaging as well. So let's flick through the designs here. Again, you do have your backing sheet where it shows you all of the images, but again, you could find something to do with those as well, and again, just making the most out of it. So all of these, again, A4, so you could fit this, trim it down slightly, fit it into an A5 card. So again, you can use it as your inserts if you like. I don't tend to use them as the inserts. I actually use these on the front of my cards. Again, I sort of take this as being another sort of paper pack. The images are much bigger on here, so you can then make much bigger cards. But as I said a minute ago, because you've got 4 of these insert papers, this particular gnome here, which I think is just so cute, you could then decoupage them up. So you could cut the hat out, you could cut his little boots out, and you know, you can create a card that way. But you've got these really beautiful colours and these patterns. So I love these stripes. Again, you've got really classic Christmas images. You've got your Christmas flowers. It's holding a little Christmas tree there. So I just think these are super, super cute. So again, that you could chop down and have that as your card front. You've got the female gnomes as well. And again, the presents, you could decoupage the presents out. You can add glitters to this. Like I said, you can ink them, you can spritz them because it's all uncoated. I really love this striped paper as well. I think that works really perfectly. And all of the gnomes are slightly different. That one's holding a lantern. You've got some dotted backgrounds as well. Ice skating again. So just really beautiful imagery. Again, both together here. All of the papers just match so perfectly. So that is then, we just kind of fan these out a little bit. You can see just how everything coordinates so beautiful. You've got that stripes, you've got the circles, you've got sort of the plainer backgrounds. It all just works so well together. So those are your insert papers, or your insert collection there. But again, doesn't have to be inserts. Like I said, I don't use them that way. I use them on the front of my cards. So the next thing we've got, this is the embellishment pad. So this is 160 GSM. So this pad itself is 8 by 8 inch, and you've got 36 sheets and you've got 6 designs in here. So again, you're getting a lot of products here for your money. So you've got a big page of sentiments. So again, these kinds of size sentiments you could use, like I said, with those on the back in here, you could mat and layer these up perfectly. So you've got then all of your sentiments here, then you've got your relations. So you've got sister, dad, brother, granddaughter, auntie. So loads of sort of variety within here to make all of those personalised cards. Then you've got 4 toppers, so you can cut these out. Again, because you get multiple sheets, you can decoupage these up, and I think that would look absolutely beautiful. But again, all the same colours, sort of running through all of those themes, so everything will match. Then you have some strips, but they've been clever where they've done strips vertically and horizontally for you. So you don't have to worry, you want to use this strip, but you want it to go horizontal. They've done all of that for you, so you can just trim these down. And again, it matches in them with all of the papers within your kit. Then you've got more sort of strips here. Again, you've got more sentiments. So you've got a really nice big strip there. Again, decoupage this little gnome up, and again, these matches your insert paper, the images on there as well. You've got really beautiful strips coming down, so you could snip into these if you wanted to. You know, there's so much that you can do. So again, we have more toppers there as well. Then we've got even more sentiments. So again, this is a different set of sentiments. And then you've got your in-laws as well down here, son-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law. So again, perfect for customizing all of your images. All of your cards. And then it just repeats again. So you've got loads of different beautiful different embellishments in there that you can use for your card projects. Again, 36 sheets, 6 designs, you get 6 of each. So then cutting them down to then create those, like I said, those decoupaged images, I think is just going to work perfectly. So that's your 8 by 8 embellishment pad. Then we have here, this is our paper kit. So this comes with 2 separate items in here. So let's just look at the back. It's just showing you all of the different products that come included within this Winter Gnomes collection. So we've got two different items within here. So both of these are 8 by 8 inch. You've got 36 decorative papers and 32 die cut toppers as well. So one of them is 160 GSM, the other one is 300 GSM. So again, you could use some of these images. So like these gnomes here, again, you could just fussy cut these out, use them on your cards. You know, you've got smaller sort of circles here you could use, you've got a strip there you could use as well. So the first thing we've got is the decorative paper. So these papers are 160 GSM. So these are then your patterned papers. So again, 36 sheets, 6 designs. So again, you've got 6 of each paper. So we've got sort of our all over patterns. You've got the little gnomes, the bows and the poinsettias. So again, really beautiful. You've got that lovely red dotty paper, just the poinsettias. I really love this stripy, it's almost like I sort of coordinated with my top. I really love this stripy paper. You've got then both sets of gnomes in there as well. You've got, if you were making a big card, so we are going to make an 8 by 8, you could put this, just cut this down very slightly. This could be then your backing paper, and you can just put a really beautiful topper on here as well. And then you've got your mirrored image, and then it repeats again. So really beautiful papers. Again, everything matches, and you've got some which are plainer and some which are sort of a lot more busy. But so that is your decorative papers. Again, that is 160 GSM, and that's an 8 by 8 pad. Then the last thing that comes included is we have got our 32 die cut toppers. So there's 8 designs within here. Again, the actual paper itself is 8 by 8, but then you do have your die cut images are obviously smaller than that, and this is then 300 GSM. But also what you've got is you've got strips down the side you could cut out. You've also got more sentiments down the side, so they're really sort of packing everything in any sort of space that they've got. So you can see here we have, and I think these are all the same. So we've got squares and we've also got circles. So we've got 4 of each of these. So again, all of the designs for these are the same, but these are then your images with sentiments already on here. So for a very special someone, enjoy the festive season, all hearts come home for Christmas. And then you've got your really beautiful big gnome there. So again, all die cut perfectly, so they just pop straight out, so you don't have to worry about cutting those out. So they're your squares. Then you have got your circles, so the same thing again, 4 sheets, and they're all exactly the same, all pre-die cut for you. Again, you've got your background here. So if you wanted to, again, if you're making a big 8 by 8 card, you could trim this top section off. You could then pop these out, you could raise them, and you could just have that as a card. So you have all 4 images, pop a sentiment on there, that is a card all ready to go for you. And again, that 300 GSM, so it's really good quality. So that is then your die cut toppers. Like I said, you have got 8 designs, you've got 4 of each, 4 of the squares, 4 of the circles. So that's everything that comes included within the kit. And like I said, for that actual kit itself, depending on where you get it from, I'm sure it was only about £27, £28, something like that, for all of that kit. And all you need to have is some blank card bases, and literally you are good to go. So that's what comes included in the kit. So let me show you just the extra product that I did purchase, just to make this kit stretch a little further. So these are the 2 extra items that I purchased. So like I said, I did buy another coloured card collection just to stretch that a little further. So we don't need to take a look at that again. But this is the first time that I've seen in the collection that they've actually done a 12 by 12 inch paper pack. Along with this, they've also done I think there was 2 stamp sets as well that went with this winter gnome. So I didn't purchase those because I had enough here already with the toppers and the embellishments to be able to make my Christmas cards. But I think that was a really great addition, that they are starting to bring in a few more products, so along with their dies as well, so you can like I said, they're doily dies, you can use perfectly with those toppers and things like that. But I did purchase the 12x12 pad as well. And again, they've been super clever with this. So this isn't just a pack of 12x12 papers, you know, where you've got really big designs on here. They have included lots of other things in here as well. So again, with this front sheet, you know, you've got your images you can cut out. Again, you've got sections of the papers and things. Again, so you've got a couple of the coloured card pieces in here. So you could use that to mat and layer maybe your smaller sentiments. So if you're personalising them with, you know, mother-in-law, for example, then you can use these to mat and layer. So again, think about the packaging. So this is 160 GSM, again 36 sheets, 6 designs, so you get 6 of each. You get tons of stuff. So for the first sheet here, again, you've got a bunch of toppers. So they've included loads of different toppers within here. So you've got smaller ones, you've got a bigger one as well. So again, loads of variety. You've got even more sentiments, and they've even included some strips as well. But again, you've got longer strips. So depending on what kind of cards you're making, you've got that option then to have much bigger strips if you need those for your cards. So again, a whole page filled with images. But then of course we do have then your just regular patterns of paper again. So if you wanted that bigger design, you do have that, and these are then mirroring the papers you get in that decorative papers kit as well. But what they've also included is then 6x6 papers, again in 4 of the colours. So rather than having a big sheet of sort of each colour, so you've got smaller ones, so you can just cut these out again, and that can just go straight onto your card base. So I've not seen something like this myself before, and I think it's just a really fantastic idea. Again, more of your patterns papers, then you've got more of your toppers as well. So again, you've got your vertical strips as well. You've got then different images, you've got more sentiments in here, you've got your circles, your squares, you've got just your embellishments here as well. Perfect for just giving your cards those finishing touches. So that is then the 12x12 card making pad. So again, that is 160 GSM, 36 sheets, 6 designs. So that's everything that goes with this card making kit. And again, then that extra product of the 12x12 pad that I purchased, like I said, that wasn't even everything. Like I said, there's stamps and there's dies that go with this perfectly, but I think there's just more than enough here to make, you know, loads and loads of cards. So let's get started on some cards. So the first size card I'm going to make is this 8x8 card, and what I've done is I've taken, this is one of the insert paper, so I absolutely really love this gnome, and I think this would be perfect to decoupage. So I've taken one sheet of this. I've also then taken another sheet. I only need to use this piece here, and then I'm going to cut out his hat and his beard and his face. So let's go ahead and get that cut. So I think I might cut as close as possible to the image itself. So let's cut sort of around his beard. So I don't do much in the way of decoupage normally, so I don't know, there probably is a little bit of a gap around, but I'm just going to cut, like I said, as close as possible to the image itself. So just around the hat. And because there's so much of these, you know, of these papers as well, normally I wouldn't really do something like this, because I think, well, I wouldn't want to waste, you know, sort of that other sheet. So by purchasing then additional items as well, if you think, oh, that's what I want to do, I can order them, because you can get them separately. I'm going to order that particular set, so like I did with the actual coloured card itself, so you can then create sort of a better cards, because you're not, I'm one of those people who sort of like to hoard it a little bit. I don't want to use it all up, but because you can buy then those extra pads, or, you know, embellishments or papers or whatever it is, then you just sort of use it a little bit less sparingly. So we're just going to go around his beard. So really nothing complicated about this, but it is going to just add something a little bit extra to your cards. So I'm going to cut out around his hands, and then I'm just going to have this very bottom bit of his beard. And because we're decoupaging it, if it's got like a little bit of that red from his arms still on your image, that's not a problem, because it's just going to blend right in to what we've got down below. So again, I mean, you could keep that if you wanted to decoupage his feet on another section. You could use that. Again, you could use this if you want to use it as a mat and layering. So, you know, I personally don't like to waste anything at all. Just sort of keep what you think you're going to use. So that is then that section. So what I'm going to do, because I want to decoupage his head, then I want to decoupage again up his hat. But because I don't want to use then a third sheet, I'm going to separate these two. I'm actually just going to put his hat onto, just sort of raise up a little bit higher onto our card. So we've got our first base layer, then we've got our beard, then we can decoupage that up even higher. And then, so we have 3 levels, but we've actually only used 2 of the actual designs themselves. So like I said, 8 by 8 paper. So let's bring out our coloured card. So again, we can use this front piece as well, but I think I'm going to go with the dark green that is going to match in with his hat. So again, like, it just matches so beautifully. So I think, so let's see, it's going to be matte and layered just like that. And then I think we're going to put a strip down here, and then we're going to put a really big sentiment. So they don't have to be complicated cards in themselves. So we've cut our cardstock 19.5 square. Again, them pieces, we keep these, even this little strip, we're going to keep that. Let's bring, so we've got our card base. We've got then our matte and layer. Then we've got a nicer, sort of bigger border there, so I think that's beautiful. So what I'm actually going to do, if you've seen the last Christmas card I created, that was using the Simply Cards and Paper Craft. That was the 208 issue. You see me talk about the black cardstock where I'd actually cut out the middle. So I'm going to do that now, even though I've got this, you know, a second pack of this cardstock. Obviously you don't have to do this, but I still want this to kind of go as far as possible. So I've got then a piece of cardstock that I can use again for a smaller project. Trim it down and that will work perfectly. So again, let's bring in our first matte and layer. See, you would never know that I cut the middle out of that. How would you possibly know? So that is our base card. Then we're going to use our images and we're going to decoupage. So let's get our first layer stuck down. So just some liquid glue, just to give us a little bit of wiggle there. Okay, then we can get our gnome down. So again, I like to be able to see the outside of that. So I've just cut that just a little bit smaller, so you can see the coloured paper underneath. Okay, now we're going to decoupage our gnome. What you could do is use 2 different thicknesses. So if you've only got 1 thickness of foam pads, you could then use a single layer for this one, and then whatever you want to decoupage a little bit closer, you can use then sort of double it up for this one. But I have got 2 different sort of thicknesses. So I've got a super thick one here and a much thinner one here. So I'm actually going to use the thinner ones for our beard. So unfortunately I've only got these small squares rather than sort of any bigger, which would make life a lot easier. But I'm just going to pop this all over just so we get some really good support. Okay, so we have got then all of our foam backs taken off, so we can then just line up that first section. So you've got just his little cheeks and then you've got his beard. And then we're going to use these much higher foam pads, and that is then just going to give us that dimension, that sort of higher dimension then, without having to cut up another image to have that sort of extra layer on top. Okay, so we've got our foam pads taken off this one, so then we're just going to line our nose and hat. So looking down, you can see there we've got then our decoupaged here, and then we've got sort of the thinner piece of decoupage here. But you can tell then that you've got one layer here and you've got another layer here. You can't really tell that we've cut this image from this image here. So again, rather than cutting up then another gnomes, we've just taken that one image and then we've been able to kind of decoupage it up. So now we need to decorate this up just a little bit more. So let's take a look at the sentiment strips. So let's bring out our embellishment pad and let's see. We're definitely going to pick one of our sentiments to pop onto the card. Okay, so I'm going to go for one of these strips here, and then I'm going to put 2 sentiments on here as well. That can then go on the side, and then we're going to pop our sentiments. So I'm going to matte layer in this as well, and I think I'm going to go for this colour. The other thing I want to do is I'm going to take out this backing piece as well, because I'm going to see if I can matte and layer up our sentiments onto those smaller pieces. Then we've got a really nice bit of border either side. So I'm actually going to take just some double-sided tape for this piece. So I know this is going to be the same length. That is going to go there, and I think this is coming together really, really beautifully. So I'm actually going to raise this piece up as, oh no, I've already got my, I was thinking raise up, but I've actually already put my tape on the back. So we will raise up our sentiment on it. So really beautiful strip there, and again all the colours are matching in really, really beautifully. So now we're going to go in for our sentiment. So again we're going to go back to our embellishment pad. I'm going to put in 2. I'm going to go mum and dad. So we've got the light grey, the dark grey. I'm going to go with love and best wishes. So you can see all I've done is cut out that backing sheet. So now I've got 8 little squares that we can matte and layer our sentiments onto, so they're absolutely perfect. We are going to go just straight down, just like so. So we've got this little tiny bow that we chopped off the bottom of our paper. So you can see it's the same bows that we've got on here, and I've just fussy cut around that. So that tiny piece of waste, we're actually going to make use of that. And I was thinking we could just put that on there just like that. So I've just put some foam on the back of all 3 of these, and just enough to help support it, especially in the middle. So take off the backing, and then, so I really want to have that gnome just sort of poking out there. So that one's going to go there. What's really great about this paper, because it's striped, obviously you can just literally line it up with the stripes. That way then you know it's straight. Then we're just going to pop our bow. I'm just going to centre that just there. So that is basically, we've used everything that's come within this kit. So if that was all you had, or you're a beginner at card making, this is absolutely perfect. But obviously if you've got other products, then you can incorporate those as well and just kind of add a little bit more to your card. So that is sort of a basic card, just using what's come in the kit. All I've done is add a blank card base, but we're going to add just a few other finishing touches just to really kind of finish our card off. So I'm going to take my Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen, so this is the clear, and I'm just going to add some really nice, just some highlights and things just to give it a little bit of a finishing touch. So the first thing I'm going to do is just on that bit of highlight on his nose. And I'm also then just going to add a little bit to the spots of his hat. So it doesn't have to be too much, but it just adds a little bit of detail. So there, so we want a little bit in his beard. So again, I'm actually just going to follow what's sort of included on the sort of design for his beard. So again, just any kind of highlights that like I said, that they've actually included. So the last thing I'm going to do is add some gems to this as well. So I've got 2 different sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these bigger ones and I'm just going to pop some. So this isn't something that I sort of usually do myself, putting the gems in the corners and things. But I am going to do this just to fill up this gap sort of a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 coming down like so. So I'm not worried about doing them for the bottom. Then I'm going to take these smaller ones and just to fill in that gap just a little bit, I'm going to put them next to the mum and dad, just to add. And I'll tell you what, we'll do one just in the centre of our bow, and that's just added, like I said, just a little bit of a finishing touch to our card. But like I said, you don't have to add those if you don't have those types of products, then of course you don't have to do that, but that just sort of finishes the card off really, really nicely. So that is our finished card. So again, this is using then that Paper Boutique Winter Gnomes set, card making set, and I just think that the images are beautiful, what you can do with them. You get enough within the packs, like I said, to be able to create loads of cards, but mixing lots of different elements together. So we've cut up the packaging as well as the sort of actual cardstock itself, so make use of what is included, you know, things like the packaging, perfect for our backings, for our sentiments. So this actual piece as well, we've not actually used any of the toppers or the embellishment pads or anything. That was purely just a insert paper. So of course you could add that to the inside, and of course then we could use one of the sentiments that we cut to put on the inside. We could take, you know, this was our spare cut off, you know, you could put that piece in the middle of it. You could take one of the toppers and put inside as well, so you can decorate the inside and the outside. But of course you can just use those insert papers as your actual card front. And again, then we've decoupaged, so we've taken 2 of them and we have decoupaged that up. So that's it for this video. So you will find in the description box down below different social media platforms where I do post. The one that I use the most is Craftworld. So if you are really into your card making or crafting of any description, then it's worth going over to Craftworld and setting up an account. There's loads of groups, there's loads of inspirations, competitions, things like that. It's absolutely brilliant if you love anything crafting. So I will post more pictures as I create more cards. Let me know in the description box down below if you want me to make another video making more cards using this paper kit. Of course I will. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It is really helping to support my channel, and I'm so thankful for everybody who already has subscribed, everyone who does like and comment. I do really, really appreciate it. So that's it for this video. Thanks very much for stopping by, and happy crafting.